Hi, T2W here, and today I'm out in the garage because I'm going to be installing a set of these Baja Squadron Pro LED auxiliary lights on my BMW R1200 GS. So before we get started today, I wanted to take this opportunity to welcome a new sponsor to T2W's channel, toolvector.com. If you haven't heard of toolvector.com, you ought to head over there and just check out their site and see what they have to offer. They have a great selection of quality hand tools at really good prices, better than you'll find anywhere else. And on top of that, the guys over at toolvector.com have graciously provided a T2W discount code for the viewers of T2W's channel. So if you use that code, you'll get 10% off of their already great prices. So check them out and see what they have to offer. It helps support my channel and it'll also help you get a great deal on tools. Enough of the sales pitch. Let's get started on the bike. All right, so before we get started with installing on the bike, I just want to kind of show you what all comes with the Baja Squadron Pro light kit. This is the 2-light kit, so it comes in a box, and there's the part number if you're looking for it. I'll list all this in the description below, but this is the 49-7803 part number, and this is the pair of the driving combo LED lights. So Baja Design makes a lot of different types of lights, some large, some small, really anything to fit what you're looking for. So I looked at a lot of different types of lights. I don't really have anything against other models or other makes. These I thought were a reasonable price for a high quality light. What I have here is the Squadron series, or the Squadron Pro. There's the Squadron Sport and the Squadron Pro. They're both the exact same form factor. The main difference is that the Squadron Sports only put out 2,260 lumens per light, and the Pros pump out 4,900 lumens, so they're significantly brighter. And then of course they're more expensive because of that. Now, you'll notice on the box it said it was the combo, and what does it mean by that? Well, you'll notice that the two of the LED lenses are clear. Those are the spot lenses for throwing a narrower beam further down the road. These bottom two are going to throw more of a wider dispersed pattern to light up what's immediately in front of you on either side, and then the spots will throw further. So to me, this is really the best possible combo. Now, additionally, what I like about the Baja Design products is you'll notice these 4 stainless steel hex head screws here. These lights are rebuildable, unlike many others that are on the market. If you want an amber lens, or if you crack your lens, or if you need to replace the circuit board, whatever the case may be, you simply remove these 4 screws. This top bezel comes off, this black part, and then the lens, the polycarbonate lens, is underneath, and you can take that out, remove it, or put an amber lens, or if for whatever reason you need to mount the lights upside down, you can flip the lens around to make sure that you always have your floodlights on the bottom and your spots on top. It comes with the 2 lights, and here you can see I've already put one of the stainless steel mounting brackets on this one, so they provide all stainless steel hardware. The lights themselves are an anodized nice aluminum finish with you can see the heat sink back here on the back, and it comes with a high quality pigtail with the connectors. Now the kit, the 2-light kit, comes with everything you see here except for these 2 brackets, and I'll get to those in a minute. So you have your extensions or your pigtails that you can plug into the light. You also have a wiring harness to go to your battery, if you're installing these even on a vehicle, so it comes with your fused connection and also an on-off switch if you need it. Now, I will not be needing this for my installation because I already have the Hex Easy Can installed on the bike, so I'm just going to run the wires from here back to my Hex Easy Can and tap in there. So now as to how I'm going to mount it on my GS Adventure, I decided to go with these Baja connector brackets. They mount where the turn signal is on the front of the bike, and then your turn signal mounts to this adapter, and this allows it to extend out and sit right above the turn signal. These 2 brackets I did not actually see on Baja Design's website. I like these much better than what comes in their standard GS and GSA kit. My local BMW dealer had these in stock, but it's part number 498271, and I will put that part number, of course, in the description below if you think you might like to use these as opposed to the brackets that also mount on your crash bar. Again, there's many different mounting options, so you pick the one that you like the best. All right, of course, I didn't mention, but you get the obligatory sticker, Baja Designs sticker, and then also a product registration card. Of course, you can also go on their website to register. All right, so now I'm just gonna go over to the bike and we'll start disassembly and getting everything set up to mount these lights. Okay, so to begin with, we're gonna need to remove a few things in order to run the wiring properly. All right, so zooming in here on the turn signal, the brackets, light mount brackets I'm going to use here actually mount underneath where the turn signal mounts, and then they set the lights above here in this area, right above your turn signals. I happen to have a GoPro mount, but I'm not going to be able to use this GoPro bracket with these mounts, but that's okay. It needed improving anyway. So what I'll probably do is make an extension to bolt where the light bolts and just set the GoPro out here in this area somewhere. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and let's remove, in your case, the turn signal, but in my case, I'm also going to be removing this bracket. And while I'm doing this, you can see how that mounts. So there's a T25 screw that holds the turn signal on, and then the turn signal typically will turn like this and then pull out. That's how these turn signals come off. And I'm going to remove this GoPro bracket and put it aside for right now. But as you can see on the turn signal, if you can see, there's a locking lug on here, and you'll notice there's a cutout right here on the hole. So when you're normally removing your turn signal, don't just pull them straight out. Once you remove the screw, rotate the light to where the light's pointing up, the lug's pointing down, and then just pull it straight out and you won't have any trouble. If you yank and pull, you'll end up shearing off that little plastic piece there. So the new bracket, if you'll notice, this is only so deep, so this bracket is recessed so that it operates the exact same way as the OEM mount. So what we're going to do is actually put the bracket on first, and there's a slot to get the wire through. So you put the wire through, set it in there, and then the light will go back in the same way, rotate it to where the turn signal is facing up, and then spin it to lock it in. And at this point, see, we're locked into the bracket with the turn signal. So now it's just a matter of reinserting the screw through the turn signal and the bracket, and then reinstalling there, and then reinstalling the screw into the bike. Now, it was just that easy. So now we have our turn signal remounted, and the bracket is on here as well. But before we put the brackets on, I just wanted to show you that it's actually easier to go ahead and mount the light because you don't have a lot of clearance. I can get my finger through here, but that's about it. So I think you would be better off install the light to the bracket and then mount it to the bike. The way I've mounted this, as you can see, I've just got the bracket on here, got the bracket coming out, and then I have the bolt. Now, I could have decided to put the nut up, but there's a little clearance here, so I decided to put the head of the bolt at the top to give me plenty of room to pivot the light as needed and put the bolt on the bottom. To be honest, I'm not real crazy about that big bolt hanging down, but hey, it's an adventure bike, right? So we've got that screw nice and secure, and now we have our bracket here to be able to adjust. So there's two T25 screws on either side that allows you to snug up the light. So to adjust the light, once you get it on, and get an idea of your angle that you want to get it set at this way. If you leave this main mounting bolt a little bit loose, you can then pivot it over and get to this outside screw to tighten it up. Here, nice and secure, and then on the outside as well. And that gets your angle. And then when you pivot this back around, you can then take your 2 wrenches and tighten up those main bolts, because you may also want to angle it side to side as well to get the appropriate direction. Alright, so when I undid the bundle, so you notice it came with the big set of wiring to the battery, and it has 1 plug, I noticed, on the fuse. We won't be using that. What I thought I was going to be using was this other set with the 2 leads, but what this is a splitter. This is a Y cable, so that you can plug your 2 lights into this connection, and then it goes into this connection here, which would then plug into your power that's coming from the battery that's switched. But fortunately, what we have is that Baja also includes a set of 2 new ends here with the pins and the rubber grommets for the watertight seal. So what this means is we'll be able to make our own custom length cable with these ends on one side to go to the lights, and then I have my 2 ends that came with my Hex Easy Can that I'll be using. Actually, I need the red one, not the white one, but I'll have 2 ends like this, the red and the orange, that I'll use to plug into the Hex Easy Can. So no biggie, we just need to make our little custom cable that'll perfectly fit the length of the bike. Okay, so at this point I have my wires run from the lights up front back down through the frame. You saw how I was using just a piece of wire about the stiffness of a coat hanger. You can use a coat hanger. This just happened to be some wire that I had around the shop. And it really helps to fish through some of these tight spots without having to remove a lot of the plastics and the body work. And then when I get over here under the seat, you can see that I have it routed under inside this tray along with my other wiring. So I like to just keep it nice and neat, tucked out of the way so it doesn't get in the way of anything. And then I'll go through where I can and I'll tie it up nice and neat. And just to keep things simple, I ran the left side light along the left side of the frame, and the right side light is along the right side of the frame. The next step is to go ahead and solder on the tips that make the connection to the Hex Easy Can. I left myself plenty of spare cable, so I'll cut it back to a more reasonable length and then use the appropriate connector to make a good solder connection. The reason I didn't put these on at the bench when I made the other end was because, as you can see, you got to fish it through some pretty tight spaces. And if you had this end already on here, there's no way you'd be able to get it through because this plastic plug would catch and hang and make it nearly impossible to get through some of the tight spots that I routed the cables. Okay, so I hope that was helpful in showing you how to get these lights installed. Right now they were fully installed, wired up, everything is tucked away and finished up. The bike is all back together. I just wanted to show the lights themselves and the installation process on my bike. So we'll have a follow-up video that's going to show you a little more about the configuration of the Hex EasyCan and the lights, some of their capabilities because of the Hex EasyCan, and also some ride footage and give you my impressions of how I like them. So this is Tim Two Wheels, and that's how I did it. And as always, thank you so much for watching.